Beyonce couldn't get pregnant, not naturally. What I do know is this. Beyonce got on that stage with that fake baby bump. It was lined up with the same timing of where Cathy White would have been in her second trimester. The timeline of when she delivered Blue Ivy lines up almost perfect with the timeline of when Cathy White would have delivered. We all know that Blue Ivy came from a surrogate. They shut that hospital down like a president had just been. And parents who had just had children themselves weren't even allowed to see their own kids for 24 hours because of the security that was locking that whole thing down.
$1.3 million is alleged that Beyonce and Jayz, the Carters, paid this hospital to have the right.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Cathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list.
It turns out that Jayz late mistress Cathy White was carrying Blue Ivy when she died. There has been a lot of speculation about this, especially after Jaguar Wright openly blamed Beyonce for Cathy's death. In addition to reportedly forcing Jay to remove Cathy, Beyonce is also accused of removing Blue Ivy, the baby Cathy was carrying, from her body just before Cathy passed suddenly. It appears that Beyonce feigned pregnancy when Cathy was carrying Blue, and as soon as they took Cathy away and got Blue back, she promptly flooded the websites with details about her impending arrival. Katt Williams was the last person anyone anticipated becoming engaged in this, but he started talking too and is confirming what Jaguar said. In actuality, this disaster had been entirely forgotten until the release of Beyonce's album Cowboy Carter last year. Daughter, one of the album's tracks, there is said to be Beyonce's for allegedly killing Cathy. In the song, Beyonce allegedly acknowledged that she had unlived her lover's mistress and that he had helped her conceal them. It is also believed that the song's title alludes to Blue Ivy, the daughter Cathy was purportedly carrying at the time of her death. The lyrics state, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors. Your bloodstains on my custom coutures. The bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do. They keep saying that I ain't nothing like my father, but I'm the furthest thing from choir boys and altars. If you cross me, I'm just like my father. I'm colder than Titanic water." Some people said it was just a song, but like I said earlier, there are others who are positive the lyrics were too complex to be just a song. Cathy was reported to have suffered from a brain aneurysm at the time of her death, but as time went on and additional study was conducted, some things just did not make sense. Let us go back to the 28th of August, 2011, when Beyonce made her pregnancy announcement at the MTV VMAs, as many people find the dates of her delivery and Cathy's death odd. According to reports, Beyonce gave birth to Blue on the 12th of January, 2012, which also happened to be Cathy's purported due date. Additionally, Cathy was discovered dead in her house a few days prior to Beyonce's due date. At the beginning of the new year, Beyonce abruptly announces the birth of Blue. Many still believe that Beyonce was never actually pregnant and that she and Jay used Cathy as a surrogate to conceive Blue. You know, in terms of surrogacy, specifically gestational surrogacy, the surrogate carries the embryo but is not genetically related to the child. The embryo is created using the eggs and sperm from the intended parents. In this scenario, the child has genes from both the intended mother and the intended father, but none from the surrogate. Despite the fact that Bey supposedly never carried Blue, people think this is the reason why Blue resembles Bey and Jay. If you are wondering why folks believe Bey was never pregnant, here's a video showing her baby bump settling in when she was seated.
What must have been a fake baby bump visually collapsed as she sat down. I admit, that did look weird, but maybe it was a weird camera angle, or maybe she wears extra padding to keep her due date a secret. And yes, maybe Beyonce isn't actually pregnant.
How many pregnant women do you know that sit with their bellies collapsing like that? According to rumors, Beyonce supposedly sent out Cathy after she gave birth because she did not want her to resume having affairs with Jay. Furthermore, Cathy's death would eliminate any possibility that she would come forward in the future to expose Bey. Can we also bring up the incident where Bey and Jay allegedly bribed the hospital more than $1.3 million to close the venture floor, where Bey was allegedly giving birth to Blue? Is it ever really that bad? Unless there is a shady activity going on that the public was not supposed to know about, of course. Supposedly. Anyway, people also mentioned this extremely sinister and perverted poem from Beyonce's song Anger, in which she describes how she would do anything, even dressing in her husband's ex, lover's skin and hair, if it would be sufficient to keep him bound to her indefinitely. Pay attention.
If it's what you truly want, I can wear her skin over mine. Her hair over mine. Her hands as gloves. Her teeth as confetti. Her scalp a cap. Her sternum my bedazzled cane. We can pose for a photograph. All three of us. Immortalized. You and your perfect.
Everyone, Hollywood's Street King said in a since-deleted piece that he spoke with one of the investigating cops about Cathy's death, and they informed him that it was a homicide rather than a brain aneurysm. The article stated, "Yesterday, I got the news that Cathy Michelle White had suddenly passed away, so I quickly began my investigation, and guess what? Cathy did not die from a brain aneurysm as reported widely around the internet today. According to an NYPD detective who told me, Cathy's cause of death is uncertain, and later today, we will have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious." He added, "A 911 call came in from an apartment on 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan. An ambulance came and took Cathy because she was sick. They took her to the Beth Israel Hospital, and that's where she expired. It was too early to be speculating that an aneurysm killed her. They will be doing an autopsy later today to check out her cause of death. But someone might have given Cathy a bad joke, so they'll do a toxicology test, and we'll have 2 weeks for that report." 2 weeks prior to her death, Cathy was contacted by a major tabloid that was investigating the Jay-Z connection. She gave them little information to go on, but according to one of our sources, following her conversation with the tabloid, she called Jay and told him that she was going to go public with their affair for a price. This all happened in the last 2 weeks. Then, little more than 48 hours after the announcement that Beyonce was pregnant with Jay's baby, this young lady suddenly dies under suspicious circumstances.
Was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand, see? I mean, I'm just speculating.
She was not finished, though. In a subsequent interview, Jaguar discussed the incident in further detail, claiming that Beyonce had fabricated her pregnancy and taken Cathy's unborn child from her womb before removing her. It turns out that Cathy was carrying Blue Ivy before Jay removed her.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Cathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jayz's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the f are these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is and the boss's boss don't get no Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. You go when you get over by the industry. Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You Sean.
Hey man.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Cathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
Liz Crokin, a well-known journalist who also claimed that Jay was responsible for Cathy's demise. Days before Cathy's death, Liz was actually preparing to speak with Cathy exclusively about her affair with Jay. When Kanye West says Jay-Z has murdered, I believe he is talking about the people who Cathy White. I was the reporter who talked to your alleged mistress right before she died. I know everything. I know what you did. Go F yourself. Your time is coming. Maybe you and Diddy can share a prison cell together. Justice is coming, she added. It's only a matter of time before spirit cooking Jay-Z is exposed like Diddy. There's a reason Kanye said, Jay's got F, I would know. He's evil to the core. I pray there will be justice for Cathy White one day. The false idols will continue to fall. Mark my words. According to rumors, Katt has not publicly confronted Jay and Beyonce about these accusations yet because he does not want them to scare him with lawsuits, like they attempted to do to Jaguar when she appeared on Piers Morgan's show. He reportedly still thinks Blue is not Beyonce's biological child though, baby, and since they defended his accusations by criticizing Beyonce for allegedly snatching Blue from Cathy, it is safe to infer that a large number of people share his viewpoint. One individual stated, if Blue was born the 7th of January, that means when Beyonce announced being pregnant, she was allegedly 4 months pregnant, which means her stomach shouldn't have been that big on the VMAs. Another person said, I remember reading all about this back in 2017 with that deflated baby bump. I didn't want to believe it had to be erased from my algo, and here we are again. Now though, I would want to hear your opinions. How do you feel about Katt claiming that Beyonce and Jay were responsible for Cathy's death? Furthermore, do you all genuinely think Blue is a surrogate child? Please share your opinions in the comments section below, and remember to click here to view this additional nasty video.